A love spell on someone I was in love with and it worked. But what came after, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
Her grandmother was a type that would put your name in the freezer to stop you from doing something. And that whatever.
Okay, y'all, this is another love spell story. Y'all gotta be careful when y'all do these love spells.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me always. Money coming in all day. Money coming in all paid. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me.
Hey guys, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny. So welcome back to another episode of Love Spells Gone Wrong. So you guys know how I be telling you do not do a love spell on someone, especially do not use your own blood to write their name, because that is one of the most dangerous soul tie love spell that you could ever do to someone. Okay, look at Krishan and Blueface situation. I mean, Krishan's love spell definitely went wrong and it backfired on her. That is the reason why she's going crazy over a man that basically do not want her, from what I see, allegedly, right? Because it doesn't make any sense. There was a video that I had shared a long time ago where she basically wrote his name in her own period blood, which is blood magic, sex magic kind of thing, and also on a mirror. So that's even 3 times as strong, plus using your blood to write someone else's name. Don't ever do that, and I will continue to talk about.
Hey cousins, so of course I'm back with another story for y'all. Okay, this story is from Tamika. Tamika said this happened when she was about 20 years old. Tamika said her grandmother did work and she was not your average grandmother. Her grandma used to smoke, her grandma used to drink, her grandma used to do everything at that time. Her grandmother was a type that would put your name in the freezer to stop you from doing something, and that whatever she focused on for you to stop doing, while she's putting your name in the freezer, you will stop doing. Her grandmother also did things like jars, and not honey jars and not sugar jars. No, she would take your name, put it in a jar with water, and then go hide it to make sure you don't go anywhere. Tamika says she would see this working with her own eyes. Tamika gets a boyfriend, but he's like cutting up, like hitting her up every now and then. So she went and told her grandmother. So the grandmother told her, if you want to hear from him, take his name, write it down, put it under your pillow, and sleep on it. Tamika would do this every time her boyfriend would go days without talking to her. And every time that she takes his name and write it down and put it under her pillow, she said every morning before 10 a.m., he calls her. This is where things takes a turn. So her boyfriend is out cheating on her or doing everything that he's doing, acting like he's single. So her grandma suggests a spell for Tamika to do. So her grandmother told her, take his full name down, put it in a jar with water, and go hide it. And she's wondering, how was this even going to work? Because for one, he's just cheating uncontrollably. And for two, they don't even live together. But Tamika was so in love and she wanted her boyfriend to stop cheating on her. So she did exactly what her grandmother told her to do. So a month later, he gets into some legal stuff and get locked up. Now, he did not get a bond. So eventually, when his court date came up, they end up giving him a bond under the stipulations that he has to go on house arrest. Guess whose house he's doing his house arrest at? Yes, Tamika's house. Taking it back to when she wrote his name down and put it in a jar, on her petition, it said for him to never leave the house. So as he gets released from jail and now is doing his house arrest at her house, Tamika's saying they having the best relationship ever. He's so nice to her. He's never been this nice to her. Everything is going in the direction that she wants it to go in. Until one day, she's out shopping with her grandmother. And remember, he's at the house because he can't go anywhere. So when she returns back home, the jar that she did of him is sitting on her table. And he's sitting beside it. So he's asking her, why my name is in this jar? What's going on? And she's like playing oblivious, like she don't know what's going on. She don't know why his name is even in that jar. So he told her again to get his name out of that jar. So she took his name out and she said instantly the spell broke. When the spell broke, somehow, some way, the conditions of his house arrest got changed to where now he can leave. He don't have to stay home 24/7. Then eventually he ended up getting off house arrest. So when he got off house arrest, he moved out of her house. Then he started cheating worse than what he was cheating before she even put him in this jar. She said he cheated so much, it was as if he hated her. The spell Tamika did backfired so bad that she went looking for him in the middle of the night and ended up finding out where he lived at. When she pulled up to his house and he saw that it was her at his door, he beat her so bad. She said till this day she has permanent scars on her face because that's how bad he beat her. Tamika said she submitted her story because she wants y'all to understand, do not play when it comes down to these people free will. She said she has lost since doing this spell. She lost mentally, she lost financially, she even got on drugs at one point. She said be careful. So again, y'all, if you have any stories that you want to submit, make sure you guys DM it to me or submit it to the email that's in my bio. Also, go subscribe to my YouTube. Click the link in my bio. It's going to take you right to it, okay?
Okay, y'all, this is another love spell story. Y'all gotta be careful when y'all do these love spells. Let me tell y'all about this girl that ended up putting a love spell on this dude that she was working with, y'all. The dude had already told this girl that he didn't want a relationship. He didn't look at her like that. And this girl was just so fucking in love with him, so obsessed with this man, that she decides to put a love spell on him. And when she put the love spell on him, little did she know that he was gonna take her life and his own. Okay, y'all, this is a true story, so we're going to make up names because I don't want to offend nobody, okay? So we're going to call the girl Jasmine, and we'll call the dude Tariq, okay? I just made up some names. Okay, so it's this girl named Jasmine and this dude named Tariq. They used to work at this flower shop right across the street from their apartment complex. Now, they worked the same hours, worked the same days and all that. Now, when they started working, everything was going good. But Jasmine used to give Tariq like eye signals or whatever showing that she liked him. And Tariq, you know what, as they built a bond over time or whatever, Tariq was telling Jasmine, like, I'm not looking for no relationship and like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't on that type of time and with nobody because he had a past relationship or whatever that kind of him up, you know what I'm saying, had him in the system, had him hurt, all that type of shit, and he made a promise to himself that he was gonna always let his guard up, and he wasn't gonna let nobody, you know, get to his heart or whatever. So he got his mindset, you know what I'm saying, like he ain't fucking with no females, he ain't taking nobody serious, this, that, and the third. Now messing around, seeing each other from time to time, that was cool to him. That was cool, but only seeing each other and messing around was cool. So it's this girl named Jasmine or whatever that used to work with him, and Jasmine was real flirty with this man. She liked this man so bad, y'all. She used to bring this man food and stuff like that, breakfast. Like when she go to lunch or whatever, she would bring him lunch bag. Like she liked this man real bad. And Tariq peeped it. Tariq was telling her like, Jasmine, man, I know you feel some type of way about me. Like I could tell the way you look at me, you know what I'm saying, the way you do this and do that, and how you just be moving in general. So Jasmine told him straight up, like, you know, I do fuck with you, I do like you or whatever, but you already told me, you know, with your situation in the past and stuff like that, you don't look at me like that. So Tariq was like, yeah, Mom, I just don't want to hurt you. He used to always call Jasmine Mom, okay? He used to always call Jasmine Mom. So he was telling Jasmine, like, Mom, I don't want to hurt you, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm traumatized at this point, you know what I'm saying? My ex-girlfriend, me and her left off on a bad note, like a real bad note. Come to find out, y'all, him and his girlfriend ended up getting into it or whatever. He put his hands on his girlfriend. The girlfriend called the police. The police took this man to jail, and now he got a battery charge on him for beating on his girlfriend. So that's why he really just was like pushing back from all relationships and all this stuff like that. So back to Jasmine and Tariq. So like I said, y'all, Jasmine used to do all this little stuff for Tariq or whatever. All this little stuff, y'all. And she was trying to prove to him that she fuck with him like, you know what I'm saying, she wouldn't do him like the last bitch did him. But Jasmine don't know what the fuck Tariq used to do to that girl to make that girl explode on his ass like that. But we're gonna get to that, okay? So Tariq was telling her, like, man, you ain't gotta buy me food, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta do this and do that. Like, that ain't your responsibility. Like, even if I was your dude, you know what I'm saying? That still ain't your responsibility. I'm the one supposed to be buying female food or whatever. So Jasmine was telling Tariq, like, I don't mind, you know what I'm saying? I got money, this, that, and the third. Like, you ain't fucking with no broke bitch. If we was to fuck around, you know what I'm saying? They joking around, they playing, they had their bond or whatever. But Tariq was telling Jasmine he didn't want to be in a relationship. He didn't look at her that serious to move it to the next level. So Jasmine decides to start doing love spells on Tariq, thinking that would change his mind, that would make him draw into her, all this other shit. So one day, y'all, they talking or whatever, and Jasmine tells Tariq, like, you'll accept me one day, you'll love me one day. And Tariq was like, I do accept you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do accept you, I love you, just in a friend way, you know what I'm saying? Like, we cool, you know, you cool, this, and third. So Jasmine brushed it off or whatever, laughing, like, she trying to shake the conversation and turn it into something else. And that's what she do. She switched up the conversation and started talking about something else, because she knew what she meant by that, but Tariq ain't know what she meant by that. So they in there, they working, y'all. It's closing time. They finna get ready to close the boutique or whatever. And Jasmine decides that she's gonna put black magic on Tariq. So she do so that same night. That same night that they closed was the same night she went home and started putting black magic on this dude. Now, if you don't know, black magic is a sort of witchcraft. It is. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's a sort of witchcraft, and whenever you make somebody go against their free will or whatever, that is you dealing with some dangerous shit. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. You dealing with some dangerous stuff. So she goes home, y'all. She putting these little spells on this dude. I'm talking about left and right, left and right, left and right, because she want to make sure that this love spell sticks to him. She know this man, because like I said, y'all, they used to work together. So she had access to all his information, his first, last, middle name, all that shit, his birthday, all that shit. So when she described what she wanted from this man, she wanted this man to be crazy in love with her, overly obsessed with her. She wanted this man to, treat her right, all this other stuff. But y'all, again, when you are messing with someone's free will, it don't exactly glow. I said glow. Glow must be talking about me. But it doesn't exactly go as planned. You know what I'm saying? As you put it out there. It don't go like that. It don't go like that. So she doing the black magic or whatever. And mind y'all, keep this in mind, y'all. Do not forget, these people stay in the same apartment complex across the street. They worked across the street at this flower boutique. Okay? So she at home, she putting black magic on this man. She did one spell. One spell ain't enough for her. She do another spell. Another spell ain't enough for her. She do this third spell just to make sure that this love spell sticks to Tariq. So the next day or whatever, they go to work. It's their regular shift. She come in at 8. He come in at 8. So Tariq speak to her or whatever, and Jasmine speak back or whatever, and Tariq was like, you know what's crazy? He was telling her how he was thinking about her all night and how he tossed and turned. Even when he fell asleep or whatever, he was having dreams about her. And Jasmine like, okay, you know what I'm saying? This shit must be working. Like, he having dreams about me and he thinking about me, you know what I'm saying? He ain't never came to work and said no shit like that. So Jasmine thinking that Jasmine know at this point that her love spell has worked on Tariq. So Tariq was like, man, that's crazy, man. I ain't, like, you know what I'm saying? He couldn't really just put his finger on it or whatever. So he was telling Jasmine, he was like, man, you cool, like, I like you, you know what I'm saying? So he always told that this was a normal conversation with Tariq and Jasmine. So it ain't like he was being mean to her before and now he being nice to her now because she put the love spell on. That's not the case in this situation. He was always nice to her. He always respected her, but he just wanted her to respect the fact that he didn't want to be with her or nobody else for that matter. So, she put the love spell, and it's a normal day. You know, he normally talking to her like he would any other day. Jasmine normally talking to him like she would any other day. So everything going cool or whatever. Their supervisor came and said something about Tariq always flirting with Jasmine. And Tariq was like, hold up. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to let everybody know that he not on that type of time. And he didn't want to give nobody the wrong impression about what he got going on and who he got it going on with. So Jasmine feeling like, okay, he ain't doing enough, you know what I'm saying? He ain't tried to push up on me, he ain't tell me he liked me, this, that, and third. So maybe the love spell didn't work. So she goes home, y'all. It's closing time. She goes home, he goes home or whatever. Right in the middle of her doing a love spell, he contacts her. Y'all. And he just basically like, what you doing? What you got going on? And she like, what is late? What I'm gonna have going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, at this time, it's like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I mean, at night. So, he was telling her like, man, he was like, I don't know why. I just keep thinking about your little dirty ass. You know what I'm saying? They used to play like that. They had that little bun or whatever. So he was like, I don't know why I keep thinking about your little dirty ass. Jasmine laughs, and Jasmine's like, I don't know why you keep thinking about me either. Like, maybe we should, work something out or whatever. But Tariq is standing his ground. Even though he can't figure out why he thinking about this girl, why he having dreams about this girl, he still stands his ground at this point, y'all, which made Jasmine do more love spells on this man. So, like I said, Jasmine tried to hit on him again. After she put them 3 love spells on him, she tried to come at him again to see what's he gonna fold. Tariq did not fold. He was just like, man, I told you my little situation or whatever. I can't be with nobody, you know what I'm saying? He was like, if he ever get to the point where he with somebody, he want to respect that person. He want to love that person, like, properly, you know what I'm saying, the right way. And his ex is the reason that he can't do that right now. Anyways, y'all like for part 2 because this shit gets deep. Okay? Bye. Okay, so part 2. So, like I said, y'all, Jasmine and Tariq on the phone. Jasmine is telling Tariq, you know what I'm saying, why don't we just, work something out with me and you? Tariq telling Jasmine, like, I can't do that, you know what I'm saying? Me and Shorty end up getting into it. I'm going through a little phase right now. I just really need to focus on myself. So, he's telling Jasmine, y'all. He's telling Jasmine, I don't know why I keep thinking about you. Even when I go to sleep, I'm having dreams about you. Like, I don't know what the fuck is up. But he said goodnight to Jasmine and told Jasmine he'll see her tomorrow at work. Jasmine hangs up the phone with Tariq and proceeds to start putting more love spells on this man. So she put this little spell on this man, and another one, and another one. So at this point, she has 6 love spells on this man. So at this point, it has no choice but to work. She feeling like at this point, it has no choice but to go and affect and make this man want her. But when she did the first 3, little did she know the spell was working and she just had to give it a little time. But since she put 3 spells on this man, since she put 6 spells total on this man, he became very, very, very obsessed with this girl. Ended up losing his job. She lost her job. They lost their apartment. Okay, let me tell y'all, I'm going too fast. Okay, so she put the little spell on Tariq. The next day, they go to work. Tariq was like, man, I don't know what the fuck it is about your fine ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with you, you know what I'm saying? I like you, I like your style, I like how you present yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like everything about you. Like, at this point, Tariq is just telling her all the time, like, how he like her, how he always thinking about her, how he always having dreams about her, and how he could see himself being with her. So at this point, Jasmine like, damn, like, okay, I got his ass now. I got his ass. Like, he finna see what's up. Like, he finna see that, you know what I'm saying, he wanna fuck with me. So Tariq was always, he had got to the point, y'all, he was talking to Jasmine, he was in Jasmine's face so much that the supervisors noticed, and they was just like, you know, you spend more time talking to Jasmine than you is doing your job. So that became an issue at work, you know what I'm saying? Jasmine trying to do her work, Tariq is just all in her face and shit like that. And Jasmine liked that attention. She liked it, the fact that Tariq was into her. She liked the fact that Tariq was, you know what I'm saying, just, I don't know, just had to talk to her or whatever. So it got so bad, y'all, the supervisor ended up letting Tariq go. But Tariq didn't give a fuck. He still came to the motherfucking shop at regular time to see Jasmine, to talk to Jasmine and tell Jasmine how much he fuck with her and how he can see himself being with her, this, that, and the third, y'all. But still, it never got to the point where Tariq was like, Jasmine, let's be together. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's fall in love. Let's fall in love, because I don't know. But I feel like Jasmine was already in love with Tariq. But Tariq knew something was going on. He knew something had changed about how he felt about Jasmine. And he just couldn't understand why. Because he had, months after him and that girl ended up breaking up or whatever, he was to himself. He didn't even want to look at no female like that type of way. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to look at no female that type of way. And he wasn't gay. I'm just saying, he wasn't gay. Okay, so Tariq, like I said, Tariq ended up getting fired because he was in Jasmine's face a little too much, and the supervisors and stuff like that, they wasn't going for this shit. They're like, damn, you ain't even doing your job. You talk to the old girl. So after work or whatever, Jasmine closes up. She calls Tariq. She giving Tariq, like, she asked Tariq what's the rundown of why you got fired and all that stuff like that. Tariq was basically telling her, like, you know what I'm saying, they talking about I be in your face a lot, this, that, and the third, but Tariq wasn't messed up. Tariq had money saved up. Tariq was a motherfucking hustler. And if he wanted to get out there and get that shit, he could have got out there and get that shit. So he wasn't tripping about no flower boutique job. You know what I'm saying? That was just something to do so that he could stay out of trouble. So, fast forward, y'all. They go home or whatever. I mean, Tariq go home, Jasmine go home or whatever. So at this time, it's 8 o'clock. Jasmine calls Tariq again. She calls Tariq again to tell Tariq that she feel like they have a stronger connection than they did before, the few days before she put the little spell. And Tariq agreed. Tariq was like, yeah, I agree with you. He was like, you know, he was like, I fuck with you. He was like, I don't know, it's something about your little pretty ass, you know what I'm saying? I just can't get over you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I want to fuck with you, maybe on that level, but we'll have to take it slow. So Jasmine was like, okay, you know, we can take it slow, we can do that, this, that, and third. So at this point, she happy. She feels like, okay, she got her man. So, fast forward, y'all, they end up eventually getting in a relationship. They got in a relationship, and Jasmine was always clinging to Tariq, and Tariq was always clinging to Jasmine. But it became unbearable with Jasmine. So it had got to the point where she didn't want that shit no more. Like, it was just too much. So she was telling Tariq, you know what I'm saying? Tariq would come over there every single day before she went to work. Matter of fact, you might as well say Tariq stayed with this girl. You might as well say Tariq moved in with this bitch. Like, they stayed right down the hall from each other in the same apartment complex. But you might as well say he moved with her because he was over there every day. Even when she was at work, he would come over there and wait until she got home. So Jasmine, and then Tariq went cleaning up. He went helping with shit. He was just really lounging around, you know, waiting for her to get out of work so he could be up under her. So Jasmine, you know, after so long, this shit gets old. It gets old. So Jasmine was telling Tariq, you know what I'm saying? Like, Tariq, maybe we need like a little space or whatever. But this made Tariq scared. Like, he was gonna lose Jasmine. He got scared, y'all. So he was like, what the fuck you mean? Like, we need a break or whatever. So he found himself getting rowdied up, y'all. He had to calm himself down. So he was like, you know, he fixed his attitude or whatever, how he approached her. He fixed it. So he was like, baby, what do you mean we need a break? He was like, I don't think we need a break. I think we doing good. You know what I'm saying? Everything going good. This what you wanted. This what we at. So Jasmine, she was just telling him, like, you know, I need my space or whatever. You know, you can go to your apartment for a few days and I'll stay here. Come to find out, when he went to his apartment, y'all, he got evicted. The motherfucker was not paying his motherfucking rent. He was not paying his rent, so he had got evicted out of his apartment. So he went back to Jasmine's spot and told Jasmine, like, man, they put eviction blood on my motherfucking door. They changed my locks and shit like that. Like, I don't know what the fuck going on. That's how you know, bro. He was over there wouldn't wash his ass. Wouldn't do none of this shit. Wouldn't help with nothing. Wouldn't clean up. Wouldn't do nothing. And Jasmine was just like, oh, hell no. This ain't what the fuck I signed up for. I said I wanted a little spell on this nigga. Not this nigga to be just, you know what I'm saying, falling off his A game. Because that's exactly what the fuck he was doing. He was falling off his A game. So, Tariq, he was telling Jasmine, like, man, nah, man. He was like, nah, you can't leave me, bro. You can't leave. You can't do me like this, man. I told you about my past relationship. Like, the bitch hurt me, man. You sitting up here trying to hurt me. You sitting up here trying to push me away, this, that, and the third. So Jasmine was trying to calm him down. Jasmine was like, I'm not trying to push you away. I just need a little space. Like, I still want to be with you, and, you know, we can be together. But I just need a little space or whatever. But he can't go back to his apartment. And this motherfucker ain't got no family, no friends, no none of that shit. So he ain't got no choice but to be at Jasmine's apartment. So Jasmine saw that he had got evicted or whatever. She felt sorry for him. She told him, okay, well, the space that you can give me is you sleeping on the couch and I sleep in the bedroom. Tariq was like, okay, as long as he in the same house as Jasmine, he don't give a fuck. So it had got to the point where it's nice where Tariq would come in there with Jasmine. And Jasmine would tell Tariq, like, not tonight, baby. I don't feel like it, this, that, and the third. So he would get mad, y'all. He would get mad, like, what do you mean not tonight? Every little thing that she did or she refused from him, he just became, like, aggressive. Like, I don't know, he was just like, bitch, this how you doing me? You know what I'm saying? This how, after I told you what I've been through, this how you doing me? So Jasmine reaches her breaking point, y'all. She reaches her breaking point. But at this point, I gotta tell y'all in part 3. So please like for part 3. Goodbye. I mean, see you later. Bye, friend. Part 3, last and final part. I know y'all ready. I'm ready too. Okay, so, y'all know he kept on busting in her room, whatever. You know, trying to fuck with her, and she wanted her space. She told the man to get on the couch, and she stayed in her room. So everything had got overwhelming to Jasmine. So at this point, Jasmine like, Tariq, you got to go. Like, you can't stay. Excuse me. Like, she was telling Tariq, you can't stay here. You can't be here no more. Like, I just need my space, like, for real. And with you sleeping on the couch and me being in my room, that's not enough space for me. Now, mind y'all, Jasmine is still going to work every day. She's still coming home and all the stuff like that. So it's this day she goes to work. She goes to work, y'all. It's a normal fucking day for this girl. While she's at work, Tariq is going through her shit. Tariq is trying to figure out why she trying to push him away, why she don't want him to be there. So he figured, let me go through her shit and see what the fuck this bitch up to. Same shit he did with his motherfucking ex. But it's Jasmine's fault, because Tariq told this girl. Tariq told this girl he need to heal. He need to work on himself. He need to get himself together. But she didn't give a fuck. She wanted to be with this man so motherfucking bad. Now you with his ass and he ain't finna leave your ass alone. Unless, let's get to it. So he going through her stuff or whatever. Up under her bed is all the shit that she had laid out where she put these love spells on this man. Everything is laid out. How she did it, when she did it, what she want from him, all this other shit. And when he saw that shit, it triggered him, y'all. It triggered him. It triggered him because come to find out, y'all, that's the same shit his motherfucking ex did. That's the same shit his motherfucking ex did. So he's sitting on the couch or whatever. He mad as fuck. He got all the little papers and shit like that, all the little candles and all the little, it was like this necklace. It was this big ass, thick ass necklace, y'all, that was made of metal. And it was like little pellets. And it was a big ass necklace. I don't know if she used that to put the little spell on him or what, but he discovered that up under her bed too. So he was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I ain't never seen no shit like that, y'all. It's a big ass chain. Just imagine having a big ass chain all the way down here. And this motherfucker got metal marble, like metal balls on the motherfucking chain. Big, thick ass. Each ball probably weighed like down there 20 ounces. 10 ounces. I'm probably overdoing it. But anyway, so he got everything laid out on the table. So when she walked through the motherfucking door, she can see what the fuck he discovered in her room. So he walked through the door. I mean, she walked through the door, whatever. Tariq just sitting on the couch looking at her. Like, you know what I'm saying? You fucking with the wrong one. You fucking with the wrong one. Jasmine didn't know about his past situation, y'all. She didn't know about him doing it to old girl or old girl doing it to him. She was not aware of it. But Tariq ended up unaliving this girl with her own protection. Okay? They had a conversation, y'all. Jasmine was trying to explain herself. Tariq just kept on telling Jasmine, I told you. I told you this shit, bro. I gave you a warning after warning after warning. I wasn't ready for this shit. And you over here putting spells on me, love spells at that, trying to force some shit. So at this point, y'all, Tariq is fucking, he is fucking mad. He is blown. He blown. So, Jasmine, she stuttering or whatever. She don't know how to explain herself, really. She don't know how to explain herself because, damn, nigga, you went through my shit. You went through my shit? So, before she could even get her last word, y'all, Tariq ended up putting that strap out on her. And boom, unalived her. He stayed in her house for hours, y'all, after he unalived her. Even though it was an apartment complex and people heard a gunshot, didn't nobody call the police. So, he stayed up in there with Jasmine's body right there at the front door for hours. Hours turned into days. Days turned into weeks until his bitch ass ran out of food. He ran out of food, had to get on the streets and hustle. Now, y'all, this is where he meets this girl named Malaysia. He meets this girl named Malaysia. Crazy thing is, Malaysia got the same name as his ex. The first girl that ended up putting a love spell on him. Anyways, this will be a separate story. I'm not making no motherfucking part 4. If y'all want to know what happened to Tariq after everything went down, after he unalived Jasmine and he met Malaysia, let me know. I will make it. But you got to be patient. Okay? Anyways, I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. If you follow me or you comment under my stuff, it's a couple girls on here. I'm going to shout y'all out in one of these videos, but I fuck with y'all. I fuck with y'all a long way. Y'all always support me. Y'all always comment. Like, I see y'all name a lot. So I thank y'all. I thank everybody for following me. If you're not following me, please hit that follow button right now because I do drop stories, not daily, every now and then, every blue moon. But this is a true story, y'all. The man that we are talking about today, he was alive. He was alive, but now he's not alive. What I mean by that is he didn't unalive himself until after the little situation went down with him in Malaysia. That's when he unalived himself in Malaysia. So yeah, if y'all want that story, just let me know. It'll be a separate video from this one, so y'all have to give me some time. Be patient, okay?
I did a love spell on someone I was in love with and it worked. But what came after, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I am back with another spooky story. We're gonna call the person who submitted the story Nia. Nia said, I need to tell you something that I never thought I'd admit out loud. We're gonna call her crush Micah. His name was Micah, he had a girlfriend, but however, Nia didn't care. Nia said that she knew that Micah was supposed to be hers. Micah would smile at her sometimes, talk to her a little too long, and Nia thought maybe, just maybe, if she had a little help to help sway him from his girlfriend to her, she would be golden. Nia said that she knew what she felt for Micah was real. And in her eyes, Micah's girlfriend, we're gonna call her Rhea. To Nia, Rhea was just in the way. So Nia had heard about this woman in town that people were whispering about. They said that she could make things happen. So Nia went to the woman and told her that she wanted Micah to love her and only her. Now the woman looked at Nia long and hard before she said, and I quote, I can give you what you're asking for, but once it starts, you can't undo it. Nia said she didn't care, so she said yes because she wanted him. The woman gave her specific instructions on what to do. She needed a red candle, his photo, a little bit of honey, some personal ingredients, like personal item, a prayer over water at midnight, and some of her menstrual. Now Nia says she followed the instructions exactly to the T. She said, and let me tell you, it worked fast. Micah started texting her out of nowhere, and he started texting her more and more. He would find himself showing up where she was at, suddenly telling her that he couldn't stop thinking about her. He even said to her one day that he left his girlfriend. Rhea out of the picture, gone. Nia said in that moment, hearing that this man done left his girlfriend Rhea for her, she said that to be honest, she felt powerful. She felt chosen. Until, in one night, Micah shows up outside of Nia's house, crying, boohoo crying. And he just said to her out of nowhere, why did you do this to me? I can't eat, I can't think, I feel you even when you're not around. You tied my soul, I know you did something to me. Then out of nowhere, the man smiled. Now Nia says that this didn't look like his regular smile. It's like his face moved. There was something else inside of him entirely. That's when he leans in and says to her, why didn't you feed it? To be continued. Let me know if you're you're ready for what happens next, because things only got darker from here. I be telling y'all, do not do a love spell on that man. Make sure you leave a comment for part 2. Before I go, my abducted humans, please make sure I'm holding down the #1 spot to be the Caribbean Music Awards award presenter. I can't make this shit up. This has to be an original experience. Because why did Hannah's cousin just reach out to me? I swear to God. Somebody submitted a story on my page. I named her Hannah. And if you want to see that story time, click on this comment. And I guess somebody heard the story and said, this story sounds very familiar. Like my cousin, my family familiar. And they reached out to me to tell me what really happened. Now, trigger warning, people. Hey love, how are you? I'm writing you in regard to that Hannah story from St. Lucia. I believe Hannah would be my cousin and all lies are being said. Half of what she said is a complete lie. Well, half. Let me keep my opinion out of it. This is some family tea. This is crazy. This never happened to me before. First of all, Hannah never cared about her mom, who passed away January of this year. The cousin claims that her mom called her 2 weeks prior her passing. Hannah cussed and hung up the phone on her mom, allegedly. Hannah has been known for putting her hands on her mom when her mom was in Canada, in the US, and even back home in St. Lucia. The cousin goes on to say that Hannah ran away from home at 11 years old, got her stepdad arrested for the R word twice, and it was all a lie, allegedly. Came back home, got her little sister to lie on her stepdad again. At 14, got pregnant with her older daughter. You're just spilling all the tea. With her older daughter, whom she abused constantly, she put her 10-year-old daughter on okay. I don't know if I should say this. I don't know what the guidelines are. What I'll say is adults usually take birth control. She has random men coming in and out of her house having, oh my God, in front of the kids. Like, they just, like the kids are hanging out while she, This girl is not a good mother and was never a good daughter to her mother. She never called or came to her mom's funeral, nor did her sister, because they both wasn't speaking to their mom for years before she passed. This story is fabricated and all lies. She then goes on to explain that when her aunt, that would be Hannah's mother, when the aunt came down from the US, she came into the house was painted, but the aunt had to furnish the house because the aunt never sent money to furnish the house. She had only sent money to paint and build the house, at least according to her. She goes on to say that both her aunts were always together, going out everywhere together. So if she came into the house with nothing, that would have never been the case. She says after her aunt started dating a man, again, her aunt is Hannah's mother, things started to change between the two of them, and then life happened. So the two sisters actually stopped speaking to each other. So she says Hannah's mother moved out and got a house in town. Her daughter came down from Canada and moved in the house next to her aunt. She says that Hannah started to look for trouble with her aunt constantly, to the point where she physically assaulted her aunt. And it was so bad that she drooped out every time in more than one occasion. She said that she only stayed on her mother's side of the house and did not take care of the entire house at all. Claimed that the walls in the house had mold, that the toilet broke, the light and water wasn't paid for, which was eventually cut off. So then that's when she moved in with her mother in town, and things got bad when she fought her mom in the streets and her mom's boyfriend kicked her out. So this is only a very little piece of Hannah's real story. Again, the stories she gave you are all lies. Oh, I'll be damned. Hannah, to the front of the congregation. Please, what's this about? Defend yourself? Listen, I don't know. I was just submitted these stories. I don't know what to make from this, so I'm just gonna say my outro. Do not forget to vote for me for the Caribbean Music Awards. The link can be found in my bio. It's in my link tree. First thing that you're gonna see, you can't miss. Scroll all the way to the bottom and submit me a free vote. While you're there, make sure you're following me on Instagram just so that I know that it's real. Duh. Like I say at the end of every single video, I love you, my abducted humans, from your favorite Haitian homegirl.
So I see glamour magic and love spells on yourself is going viral. And considering my last video about love spells also went viral, I think it's time for a part 2 about the time that I did a love spell involving a honey jar. And again, like always, it worked. Okay, it worked. And this one, I'm actually proud that it works. And I'm doing another one now. But I will say this is why people tell y'all not to play with magic, okay? Because it's not always sunshine and rainbows, nor is it evil and demonic, okay? So this is back in 2021. Like in my last video, I already told y'all that I did a love spell on that one guy while I was dealing with the next guy. Okay, so this was during the time that I was dealing with that second guy. So I'm dealing with this second guy, and I start to realize, what the heck am I doing? I'm over here doing a love spell on a man, stuff not going right. Maybe it's time for me to do some glamour magic on myself. All right, and again, it worked. Okay, your girl lost a lot of weight. She got a new job. She ended up getting a new apartment, a new car, everything. But this is what they don't tell y'all about doing glamour magic or love spells on yourself, especially with, is that when you do stuff like that, or even prayer, okay, if you pray about self-love, when you do stuff like that, you have to be prepared for the outcome. You have to be prepared for the level of self-love that's going to come from that. You also got to be prepared for the universe to pretty much test you at every opportunity. So that means if you say you want to do a love spell to lose weight and you still over here eating sugar and stuff like that and you ignoring your body, the universe or God will literally give you a stomach virus, possibly put you in a hospital to the point where you will lose all your weight. And it all depends on your spirit too, your spiritual team. So now 3 weeks ago, I did a glamour spell. Okay, and so far my spirit has been telling me, okay, she wants to stop going to certain events. She wants to stop hanging around certain people. Certain things are just no longer serving me. I no longer crave sweets. I no longer crave certain environments, bars, and stuff like that. But because I was not ready to transform myself, I've been spending the last 3 weeks still partying and kicking it and doing what I normally do. And guess what? Now I'm burnt out. Okay, now I'm at the point where, not saying a sense of depression, but yes, my soul is fiending for something that I'm not listening to. Okay, my soul is fiending for transformation and growth and this glamour, but I was not prepared at the time. So I'm still trying to hang out with the same friends. I'm still trying to do everything. And God is like, do I have to remove them? Do I have to remove you? But overall, you got to do shadow work and a whole bunch of stuff to be ready for that type of transformation. Because a person like me, I'm a little self-sabotaging, okay? Clearly, I'm unhappy being in bars and in certain environments, but I was still doing it for a long time, trying to build connections with people. And that's another thing. When it comes to self-love and self-respect, there is going to be times where you cannot people please. And that is a very lonely journey to walk, but you have to accept that you came into this life by yourself. You might have to leave this life by yourself, or you just have not found your people who are on the right vibration to be with you right now. And sadly, a lot of us aren't ready to let go of our current version.
Now, I don't know how many times I have to say this or who needs to hear this, but the love spell does not change the man. It just magnify the man and their bad behaviors. So if they're already cheaters, they're going to be cheaters times 3, but they will be clinger. And I say this all the time, but this last story was basically the perfect example of that. First of all, she said that her grandma used to do stuff, right? Putting people in jars and stuff like that. And I believe, in my opinion, that a lot of the Kardashians, right? This is all alleged. They put their men in a jar. They put their men in a love jar, a honey jar, a water jar, whatever the case may be, but they keep them there. The only thing is, you notice how these men will still cheat, will still treat them like crap, but they do stick around? Yeah. So when the grandma said to put the man in the water, she was doing a mental work. Basically, she speak in the water, because you know how water holds memory, and also it was in a glass jar. The jar also helps, plus the name paper, which I'm pretty sure she probably write his name 3 times, 6 times, or 9 times, and they write her name, turn the paper around clockwise and write her name over it to dominate him, right? Because that's what it's giving. And then putting it in the water, speaking in the water, because what happened is the name is already there, it's already dominating them, plus then whatever is said inside the jar with the water is going to stay there until she take it out. So you notice how the man basically continues to cheat even though he was cheating. He ended up getting in trouble. She had to basically tie him to the house, because that's really what she was doing. She tied him to the house so he never leave the house. So not only that's why you got to be smart about it. You got to be really smart, because you don't want to do a love spell and not be specific, because that person can want to be up under you so much to the point where they don't even want to work. So in order for what she did was she tied him to that house. He stayed in that house, but he was basically under house arrest, so he couldn't even work, he couldn't even bring money in the house. So it was kind of, honestly, unless she really wanted a clingy man and a man to be on top of her, which then that's what happened. But then as soon as he found that out, he ended up, she had to take it apart, and it backfired on her. What she should have done was, in my opinion, she should have went to the water, wear white, and then cleanse herself in the water. Because then if you don't do that, all of that energy is going to go back on you. And now you're going to start going crazy, possibly, or you're going to start chasing the person. You're going to be so in love with that person. You want to be on top of them 24/7, just like what you wanted them to. What you wanted to affect them is going to affect you, but times 3. right? Because now the person has noticed it, the person has seen it. That's why when they tell you sometime whenever you do your work, hide it, don't let people see it, because people can, one, take it apart, and or two, if that person find it, then it's going to basically ruin the whole thing. It's going to backfire on you. And in my opinion, when it comes to the whole Krishan and Blueface situation, she is definitely a déjoué, in my opinion. This is just from looking outside looking in and knowing what she did. I don't think she know enough to go and get that cleansing off of her, because look at, the man is in jail and she's basically begging this man who is in jail to be with her. What do you want with a man who's in jail? You're begging them to be with you, crying and everything. And I understand, yes, she want all the attention, but a lot of it is that love spell that's gone wrong. When she wrote his name in blood, if, for example, the thing did not, I'm not sure if his mom, Carlissa, I'm not sure if she's into any of that stuff. If she found out that she did that to him and she ended up going to someone to reverse the work and or just undo the work, and it backfired on her, which is could be very, very likely. But also maybe he found out about it, but it was also over the internet. Anyone who saw that video could tell you that it was definitely a love spell, because there's no way you should be writing someone's name in your blood, because like I said before, if you're going to do it, make sure it's someone who can actually give you some money and keep you you know, good. I mean, at the end of the day, if that person is going to be clingy and on top of you 24/7, you might as well get some out of it. But I do not recommend it. I do not recommend it at all, because what is going to happen is, if that person is a cheater, just like that man from the other video, if that person is a cheater, he's going to be a cheater times 10, but he's going to be very clingy. He's going to want to see you all the time. He's not going to let you do anything, you know, because how dare you cheat? I can cheat, but you cannot cheat, basically, right? That's what it will be. He's going to want to see you 24/7, going to want to be under you 24/7, and all of his bad behaviors are going to just magnify. They're going to multiply, but he's going to give you a whole lot of love on top of all those bad behaviors. He's not going to stop cheating. He's not going to stop texting people. He's not going to stop with the 3 phones that he have. He's not going to stop hitting you if he's an abusive person. He's going to do all of that, but he's going to turn into a narcissist and make it seem as though it's your fault. You're the reason why I'm doing this, because I love you so much. That is the reason why I'm doing this. So y'all, really, if you're going to do something like this, please, 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 please be careful. I cannot stress this enough. I have seen it happen to people that I love, people that I care about, you know. If you're going to, look, should I tell y'all? There's an orange spell that you could do to basically make people sweet to you, if that's what you want. You know, if you just want people to be sweet to you or to just love you, you can do a sugar jar. You can do a honey jar with flowers. Maybe if they buy you flowers, let those flowers dry before you, don't throw them out. Use the same flower, because their energy is attached to the flower, so use the same flower, you know, flowers to basically do. And then if he buy you the honey, you could get him to buy you honey. I mean, it's just honey. Hey honey, you're at the store, can you stop by and grab me some honey? You know, now you use that same honey and you take a parchment paper and you write your name. No, you write their name with their date of birth. Don't look. Do it by yourself, okay? You do whatever you want, but I'll tell you about it, because some of it is in my book. So if you want to check out one of my books, but anyways, yeah, you write, get their name and write it with their birthday on a parchment paper, turn it clockwise, and write your name over it. Because why is your name over it? Because you're dominating them. Do as I say type stuff. You could get some do as I say oil, and or follow me boy oil, or follow me girl oil. Check out Art of Roots for those oils. Don't forget to use my code GEN10 so you can get 10% off, right? And then you will just put it in a jar with some honey, with some water, with some brown sugar, and just sweeten that person up. And you know, every Friday, because Friday's for Venus, if you're trying to make this person love you, or on a Wednesday, which is mental work, you could do some mental work, burn a blue candle over the jar, and or put the jar, you know those coffee thingies you can sit your coffee on so it can keep the coffee warm? Just make sure you sit it on there, and or burn the candle, because what you're doing is every time you burn the candle over it and you meditate for like 5 minutes, you are activating the work all over again. And or you put it to sit on top of one of those candle places that's going to warm up the content that's in the jar. You're making the work stronger all over again, and you just continue it like that. So you don't have to necessarily do a whole love spell, but that person will love you, and that person will be attracted to you, and they will treat you nice, and they will give you nice things. Every time they think about you, those are the things that you will be saying while you're putting all the content in the jar. You'll say, this person, every time they think about me, they want to send me some money, and every time they think about me, they want to send me flowers, or you could do a freezer spell and just put them in the freezer and just stop them in their tracks, basically. But like I said before, make sure you do everything that you do responsibly, because at the end of the day, messing with somebody else's free will, if you're going to mess with their free will, make sure it's in your benefit. But don't do anything crazy, because once they find out, once people discover that you're messing with their free will, especially putting them under a love spell, when that turn around on you, it can be really, really bad. So if you're going to do any work, just make sure that you could do some work on your name. Your name is very powerful. It's attached to you just like your DNA. So you could do some work whenever somebody does this, whenever people speak of me, as long as they mention my name, things will transmute in my benefit and bring me more money. I say this all the time, just like she was 7 cents. Just make sure you say my name correctly. I don't care what you say about me, honey. Just make sure you say it correctly, because then it's going to activate the work to bring things back to me and bless my life. Because at the end of the day, you're willingly giving the energy, and I am willingly taking the energy. Because if you're gossiping, you're giving me energy. If you're talking about me, you're giving me energy. And then in return, I'm going to transmute that energy into something that's going to bless my life. It doesn't matter what you say. It's going to bless my life in return. That's called transmuting the energy. So instead of doing love spells and following men around and doing love spells and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, men are like buses. Once one leave, the next one is 5 seconds away. So you don't necessarily have to do all that for a man. You can do things that's going to benefit you in the long run, as long as you come across a man. Like Eartha Kitt says, as long as I'm in the presence of a man, I will be taken care of. Because I got it like that. Well, let me just not. Okay? I got a man. I got a husband. But my thing is, I'm a goddess. I use the herbs. Talk to you later. Bye.